want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
How's it going, man? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, man.
Yeah, likewise. I'm very excited to talk to you today. But first, let's talk about this Tuesday. What do you got going on with Jack?
Man, this Tuesday, I got a text from Jack, and he was like, we got to do something, I want to bring you on stage. But this time is going to be me and Jack together.
Oh.
I did one that it was just me by myself.
Ooh.
First time ever on stage. And I did pretty well. I went for like 2-3 minutes and just like, it was insane. I was like shaking. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. The worst thing you could do in the world is stand-up comedy, in my opinion, because you're literally depending on a audience and you have to make them laugh. You have to fulfill them, and everyone has different interests and stuff. What was that like? How hard was that?
To be honest, from the outside, from the audience perspective, like if you're like looking like at the comedian from the outside, it looks like, okay, like this is like a piece of cake. But once you get up there and you have the whole crowd like just looking at you, and then you have this very strong, powerful light just on your face, and you kind of got to go like this, kind of step down to see who you're like, because since you're doing like crowd work, you got to see like what's going on, who you're picking and stuff like that. Yeah, that was kind of like, all right, like it kind of threw me off a little bit, but then I got used to it.
Did you get comfortable on stage? You always been good on camera and in front of people?
Yeah, well, first when I started, 2018, 2019, I was kind of like a little, I would say, awkward on camera and stuff like that, but then I got used to it over time. Yeah, Yeah,
that's where I am too. I'm still in that phase of getting comfortable with being on camera all the time. Especially now that I work with Lights Out and do all this MMA content with UFC and stuff. It's different because I've never really been on camera a lot. But let's start from originally. I know you're originally Armenian ethnicity. Were you born there or are you born here?
So I was originally born in Kuwait, and I'm basically Persian Armenian, but also Kuwaiti Armenian. So there's not a lot of Armenians in Kuwait, maybe like 5-10 families. But I was born in Kuwait, and then at the age of 10, 11, I moved to Iran. I lived there for like 6 years. Then I got here about 8.5 years ago.
Oh, so you speaks Farsi as well, right?
Yeah, I speak Farsi, Arabic, Indian because of my dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he went to Armenian boarding school in India, Calcutta. And he's the reason why I know a little Indian.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
And some discounts at the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, discounts at the 7-Eleven.
Shout out to my Indians,
What was life growing up for you? Were you always in this general area, or you've been bouncing around a lot? I know you said Iran. Can you break down Iran for me?
So Iran, we had so I was from the city called Esfahan. So Esfahan is like basically the city that I was from. It was basically all Armenians.
Okay.
And obviously our community was like, pretty big. And over there, I was just like, hustling, and I was still doing what I'm doing here, but without being recorded.
Oh.
So I was doing everything over there that I'm doing here, but no, I didn't really have that, nobody to record me. I didn't really have that, connection or anything like that until I got here.
Well, if there's one thing I noticed about you, I've only met you for about 10 minutes now, and I've seen you previously before in public, but you're the exact same. On camera, off camera, you're very genuine, and I really do appreciate that. I bet as a lot of people do, because now with social media, a lot of fake content, a lot of fake creators who put on this persona, but then you meet them and it's like completely different. But with you, you're the same, and it's awesome to meet somebody who's just genuine and believes in themselves. So I wanted to start about how you started making content, what brought you to making content, all that.
So content, I started, 2018, I was doing more like so like, I had this partner, Mino, Epic Mino. He blew up in he's Tunisian. Is it like North African?
Yep.
Shout out to Mino. We were doing content together, more like English.
Yeah.
And he did the whole World Cup thing, like crash and everything with the flag and blew up and everything. He has his own thing going on. I have my own thing going on.
Yeah.
Then COVID hit, and I was like, what can I possibly do that is different from everybody else's content? And what can I do that is going to stand out and be unique? So that's where I came up with teaching strangers Armenian in the street. And that's where it started, from Hollywood. And it just kept going. But 2020, it slowly started to take off. In 2021, that's where I took it like really serious.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've noticed one thing is that's my favorite style of content that you have is
Yeah.
teaching people who don't speak Armenian, especially with the word exchanges. You'll put something so random in there, and I think it's hilarious. But what really brought you to full-time content? I mean, have you always wanted to do acting, social media? What were you aspiring but led you to this path?
To be honest, the person, I mean, I know a lot of people might feel a type of way me mentioning the name, but the person that really inspired me to break the ice, do what you love, your life, your choice, Vitaly.
Yeah, he's great.
Vitaly is the only person, like he's Russian too. I'm sure everybody knows him.
Yeah.
He's the king of like pranks. Like his thing is original. He doesn't care about anything. He just keeps going.
Yeah, he's very
So,
OG.
yeah, OG. Like whoever knows the king of prank, he's the one that started the whole prank stuff.
Yeah.
So he inspired me a lot to do what I'm doing right now. So I used to watch him.
Did you grow up watching a lot of YouTube, a ton of YouTube? Like, what was the growing turning point that always led your mindset to where it's at now? Because from meeting you and talking to you, you're very knowledgeable and you're kind of experienced in an extent of not only from your content, but from what you've consumed over the years. So you look like you've been through a lot and a ton of different phases. Has that happened to you? Where you've gone through phases of content?
To be honest, before content, I was doing music. YSN. I got this with Young Savage Nation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was doing music and I was doing like rap. But then I was like, I don't think this is like it doesn't really suit me. So then I was like, let me do something different. Content, like doing social media, Instagram, TikTok, everything. Just I don't know. It just made me feel like okay, I can continue this. Like I felt it, but I tried, and then I tried soccer, and I tried a little bit of everything, But social media was the only thing, like doing pranks and interviewing the whole thing. Yeah.
Well, that sounds so interesting. What was a turning point for you? Was there a point in your media career where obviously you started and the views probably weren't there, but then you kept pushing? What was that turning point? What video or moment do you remember in your life that really made you think, I can fucking do this?
Okay, so I remember exactly how this went down. So I was pushing content, I just kept dropping back to back. I was doing like 2-3 times a day, right? One content that I recorded at the Grove, this Asian girl, I just like stopped her and then, she had groceries, whatever. And I was like, hey, let me teach you some Armenian words. I started like teaching her the words, whatever. And then I don't know why that specific video just ended up taking off. And that day I was in Santa Barbara. My friend invited, there was like a big party going on.
Yeah.
And then me and my friends were there. And then we stayed the night over there. At night, I looked at my phone. I'm like, notifications going off. What's going on? I go back, I look at a video, it's blowing up.
Oh, shit.
It was like 100K and then hit 200K and then following started going up. And then that's where I was like, okay, this is a sign for me to keep dropping and just go forward.
When you started going out in public after that, was there an immediate reaction with people or you were still on the come up? Like, what was that point like? Because if there's one thing I find interesting, it's fame, because the way it works is so weird. And honestly, a lot of people don't like to be called famous. I would consider you famous because when I met you at the Arman Sarukian meet and greet, I'm not even kidding. I was up on the second floor. I was ready to meet Arman and I saw you and everyone just ran. You started screaming. You took photos with everybody. You're a huge influence out here in this community. What does that mean to you?
To be honest, me putting smile on my, on everybody's face. Obviously, my people, the way they support me, it's like, it's different, like it just, every day, the love I get in the streets, everywhere I go. It could be the market, it could be at the mall, people approaching, showing love. It just makes me want to do this even more, like I just want to just keep doing it.
Yeah. What's your weirdest experience with that?
You
ever had a weird one?
Weird experience, to be honest? Like, what do you mean? Like
as in somebody said something so weird or just random or just something that put you in an uncomfortable position?
To be honest, I don't know, man.
It's all been good?
It's something bad, but, well, I had like, like a little bit of like, obviously you get the hate, a little bit of sweet and sour.
Yeah.
So I had a little bit of hate in person.
How do you deal with that?
To be honest, I
look at it.
I don't really pay attention to that. I used to in the beginning, but then I started to notice that, it just comes with it. And this is, whatever I do, this is what it comes with. So there's nothing that you can possibly do about it. And I feel like whenever you're getting hate, you know, it could be anybody. That means you're doing something right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Yeah.
I look at it the same way. I mean, if there's one thing that's really frustrating about hate, though, is it could be very hard on you because if you put everything into one thing and you're trying so hard to make it a career and people are just shitting on you. But how do you push through that? Have you always been getting good comments, or was it hate at first, or has it always been support? What was your growth within social media like?
To be honest, it's a little bit of both. Like, you know, like obviously sometimes you'll get more hate in one day, but sometimes you'll get more love in one day.
Yeah.
Like it just varies. Like it depends on the day, but some randomly you can get a DM or randomly you can get like a, you know, like a weird comment, but obviously it's like the profile, you don't really know who that person is. It's like, usually it's like people with like, they create a profile. I call them keyboard warriors, you know, like they just behind the screen. I don't know. Like I feel like everybody gets hate. You know, there's no one that I know that does social media and gets love the whole time. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah, and how do you feel for new creators? Like, what would you say the biggest thing is? Because if there's one thing about social media that I've came to realize within doing it is it's fucking hard. A lot of people think this shit's easy. It's not, but it's easier than working a normal 9 to 5. It's not a coal mine. I get that. But on a day-to-day basis, it could be very draining. Like even today with all the media stuff I did for Lights Out Extreme Fighting, we did the weigh-ins, I did a little bit of promo, and even driving, sitting in traffic all the way back, the conversations to doing this. It's like, it's a very eventful day, which makes it kind of cool because you feel busy every fucking day. But how do you deal with that?
To be honest, you get like, how do I say it? Like, you just basically don't pay attention to it. I just like wake up, right? I used to look at my phone a lot, you know, what's happening, notification. I don't pay attention to that. I wake up, I tell myself, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve, and I'm gonna execute it, no matter what anybody says. So I just execute it, and that's it.
Where do you get that mindset from? Because it's very unique. Not a lot of people have that passionate, self-driven mindset to constantly improve, especially in social media on camera. It's probably one of the hardest things to do. Where do you get that passion from?
It's by like, I guess like dealing with people, you know, just talking to people, kind of like having a thicker skin, just by experience. I don't, you know, like throughout these years, you just like get used to it, and you just basically think different every year. You start to realize different things, and you're like, okay, this is how I'm thinking now.
How were you in school? Were you a class clown? Because you're very funny.
School, to be honest, yeah, I would fuck around with the teachers and stuff. Like, yeah,
it's just how you are.
Yeah, I'll get kicked out of class.
What schools did you go to, if you don't mind putting that out there?
I went to American private school / Indian school in Kuwait. And then I went to Persian / Armenian school in Iran for a little bit, for like 2 years. And then after that, you know, I got here, I went to college for like 7-8 months. I took music. And then I was like, you know what? Not my thing.
Oh, interesting.
So I kind of want to, you know,
yeah.
I thought it was a waste of time. I mean, whoever's watching, I'm not saying like, you know, school is not for everybody.
Yeah.
But if you're doing school, just stick to it. But for me, I thought it was like a waste of time because I thought I could do it. I could do bigger things without, you know, having school involved.
100%. I mean, I agree too. I never took the school path. I was the same way. I was always a class clown, and I always found other things to do than to sit in class and be in school. But I've always kind of pursued things outside of school that not went against the curriculum, but the agenda that they pushed, and even now and how that's changed over the past like 5 years, which is pretty crazy. It's pretty drastic, that change. But it's very difficult to express to a lot of people who are very school driven. There's a lot of parents, old traditions, and families out there who really want you to go to school because they believe that's the best life for you. But I feel like times change. I mean, if you go to college now, get yourself in $100,000 worth of debt, you try to buy a house, try to get a car, it's almost impossible, especially in this day and age. I feel like it's a system that doesn't work anymore, and it was proven that it's just not effective. And if there's one thing that we've learned is there's a second path, and that a lot of people came up through social media, just like yourself. And it's very interesting to see the way people, I wouldn't say they would kind of be, you know what? Fuck the school. That's the whole point. I'm kind of stuck in a little bit. But have you tried F3 Energy?
No, I haven't, but I saw your story, so I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah, pop that baby open. Let me know what you think.
Let's hear this real quick.
Oh yeah, that's sexy.
Oh, start bubbling. It's pretty. It's pretty sweet.
It's very sweet. I love it. I love everything that's in it. And if you read the front label, do you know any of those products or supplements that are in it enhancing?
No. Can you explain?
Well, BCAA is for muscle growth. It builds endurance, and it's, I guess you could say, like a creatine, but it also does stimulate your body, and it gives you that nice little pump. L-theanine is a nootropic, same along with ginseng panax, what helps with mental activity. So if you're going to school, podcasting, or even on your day-to-day with having a clear thoughts, because all you do is talk to people all day. Do you ever have that issue with stuttering or maybe brain fog or lack of vocabulary?
I have times where, like, when it comes to like ideas, where you have those, I don't know what it's called. I think it's called brain block, something like that, right? Blockers, brain, something like that, where it's like nothing comes to your head, like there's nothing, absolutely nothing you can think of, and that's because the amount of work you put in and the sleepless nights you have, editing, just talking to people, all that stuff. You know, like obviously you like drained, like you like just burned out.
Yeah.
So, but that's like a temporary thing, and then obviously you just get some rest, and then that just goes away.
Yeah, I mean, I've ran into that with a few times in my career where even when you have great ideas, you need to brainstorm, you have something great going on, and then you just ruin it because of brain fog. I feel like that's a big thing, but that's why you have F3 Energy, the official sponsor of the podcast. It's awesome. So, do you like MMA?
I do, actually, yeah.
You excited for this weekend? Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad.
Oh.
I think that's going to be a great fight.
I think Bilal Muhammad is going to get his ass kicked.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say because Bilal has had a lot of growth, and he is very hated. He's very doubted in the sport. But then again, Leon fucking Rocky Edwards is the motherfucker, dude. He's so good, especially head kicking Kamaru Usman in the last round. I mean, that's probably one of my favorite knockouts in UFC history. Is he was losing the fight up until the 5th round, and then out of nowhere just throws the head kick. He's been setting it up the whole time and just fires it because his coach yells at him to do it, and it lands. And his speech, even after, it brings tears to my eyes. I have a very sensitive heart for seeing people win. I mean, that kind of stuff is awesome, and that's why I love the sport. I really do. I mean, what got you in the UFC?
To be honest, I wasn't really into it, but then after that, I started to, like, you know, my friends put me on. They're like, okay, this person, they started to, like, you know, break it down for me, like who that person is, who this person is, you know, and then Dana White.
Yeah, there's some great storylines.
Yeah, and then obviously I didn't know, like, I just recently found out Dana White used to be the owner, right?
Yeah. Well, he still is.
But not fully though, right?
He
kinda.
never. The Fertitta brothers are another co-ownership. They started that. I think they bought the UFC back in '97, if I'm not mistaken. Bought it a long time ago. I think UFC had a couple fights before the Fertitta brothers, and Dana White bought it for $2 million. So now it's grown to a $14 billion business, and the growth of the UFC has been insane over the past 20 years. Even the sport, like, I've been training jiu-jitsu. And the way jiu-jitsu's grown since I was a kid, I mean, there was about 1 to 2 martial art schools in your probably whole 40-minute drive from where you live to now being 3 or 4 of them. I mean, I had an opportunity to interview Alberto Crane, who's the owner of Legacy. Have you heard of Legacy?
No, I haven't.
Legacy Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's on Verdugo, if I'm not mistaken, and North Victory Boulevard. It's in Burbank. It's an awesome jiu-jitsu school. I really recommend you guys check it out. Have you ever tried jiu-jitsu?
I haven't, no.
No interest into martial arts?
I just eat, man, and sleep.
Yeah.
And repeat.
Oh, no, I love eating too.
Yeah.
Well, what's your favorite food spots?
I got a burp, man.
No, you're good.
this thing is this thing is like
it's overwhelming a little bit.
I think I got a fart too.
Okay,
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Favorite spot favorite spot to eat, like anything, or it doesn't have to be Middle Eastern?
Middle Eastern too, put me on.
I would definitely say you got to check out Rafi's.
Where's that at?
It's in Glendale actually.
Oh.
Yeah, Rafi's kebab is pretty good. I would say Carousel. Carousel is pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, they have some good food.
Have you ever tried Phoenicia?
Phoenicia? No.
It's on the main street by the Americana. I always forget what it's called. Whatever the main street of the Americana is.
I've heard of it. A lot of people talk about it, but no, I haven't tried it yet. Also, you got to try Garas.
Where's that at?
Karas, right in front of Americana.
What do they have there?
Just kebabs and just like khinkali.
Really?
A lot of like great stuff. Yeah.
Dolma, for sure. They have that.
Yeah.
So where did that come? Where did that come from?
To be honest,
it just happened.
2019. 2019. It was Thanksgiving Day, and then I was just we're invited to my friend's house, and I was just laying down on the couch, and then at that time I had a little situation with some people, and then I was like every time I would go live, a lot of people would join. That's like a long time ago, and I would just roast people like just for fun. And this one guy joined and started to just roast me, out of the blue.
Yeah.
And I looked at him, I called him Dolmi Pshur,
Yeah.
but like aggressively. And he thought it was a bad word. So, and then that's where everybody was like, okay, pause. That's kind of like funny. So it just became a movement ever since.
Well, if there's one thing that's been a movement, it's been one of your most viral moments. But what was the hardship through making this a career? I mean, because I know with social media, it's very up and down and back and forth. But what was the true hardship in it? What was that breaking point?
Like the way everything started?
No, like where did you find the most struggle at?
Most struggle. To be honest, well, obviously, okay, like in the beginning, I was just creating content, right? But then it started to become a problem because, obviously you need the right team for you to go forward.
Yeah.
And then I started to realize, I need to put a team together. Then I did. So that didn't go well. So I just had to do solo. And then now I'm pretty much just me.
Yeah.
Me, my camera guy,
You've learned not to rely on people.
Exactly. Yeah. That was kind of like the little, the bridge that I had to, pass, and that was about it.
That's where I'm at right now, where it's relying on people, because my style of content, obviously podcasting helps, but in the MMA world with the interviews and stuff, it's been very hard to just lock down a specific person and make them come at a set time and do a whole shoot. It's been very difficult with that. But what led you? Do you edit your own videos?
I still do. Depends on the time and everything, but I'm just like so busy with everything that I just have my own editor right now, and he's located in Dubai. And
really?
Yeah, he's Armenian, but his youngest brother just recently moved, and the older brother was editing my videos. He met me through Instagram. One of my videos popped, and he used to live in Armenia. Shout out to my boy Toros, and Hike. So we were basically, just talking, and then I went to Armenia 2022 with family, and then that's where we just actually met in person. And then now his brother is actually, doing my videos, editing my videos whenever I need it, because to be honest, the amount of videos that I make throughout the day, imagine 35 videos, is like so much time consuming.
Dude, it's crazy.
That you have no time to edit. Like you can edit 1, 2, 3, that's fine. But then what about the rest? So like I send the videos, the team gets it done. It's back in 24 hours. I schedule the drop, it drops.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that how you go right now? Are you scheduling your post?
Yeah, I'm scheduling everything. Like obviously just Instagram. TikTok doesn't have that feature. So, but right now I'm growing my Snapchat because I'm at 6.2K followers on Snapchat. But once I hit 10K, that's
that creator deal. I heard there's some crazy money on Snapchat.
Oh yeah.
What do you know about that?
So you have your own. So once you hit 10K
Mm-hmm.
and you start like posting more in Spotlight and your videos start like Snapchat reach out to you, and then they tell you, hey, do you want to have your own show? The little shows on Snapchat.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then they put you on one of those shows, and then you start making money.
Oh shit. Yeah, because I mean, I overheard stories from like David Dobrik. That's how he still makes his money. Because nobody's heard or seen from that guy in a YouTube video, or in my opinion, public. I think he died off, but I see his Snapchat stories every single day, and he's probably making millions of dollars doing that. Why do they pay so much? Is there a reason?
I have no idea. I don't know why they pay so much, but honestly, TikTok is amazing right now.
Yeah, I love TikTok.
TikTok
So
is
good.
like, if you know how to, like, how do I say it? If you know the right ways and the right times to post, obviously, the update has changed. So you can't just post 20, 30 seconds videos. There's no point in it. It has to be over a minute for you to get paid. So as long as it's over a minute and it's different and unique, and TikTok likes when you use their kind of like features, like their edits, like the captions, whatever.
Yeah.
They help to push the video out more. You know what I mean? So since you edit the videos, it's not like they don't push it, but how do I say it? It's like a lower chance for it to be on the For You page.
Oh, okay.
But whenever I do get my videos edited, I do a little touch up to it. Whether it's a caption or little things like that, I add to it from the app, from the TikTok app, so it gets on the spotlight.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I've always wondered that with TikTok, because obviously we've seen some of the biggest creators of all time come through there, like Speed. I mean, his growth now, he's probably got like 40 million subscribers, and the kid just travels the world, and it's so nuts. I mean, this kid's got mobbed. Did you see what happened to him like 2 weeks ago? I think he was in Norway. He was trying to leave a store, and there's about like, I don't know, probably 1,000 people outside, and he walked out. They're pulling his hair. Allegedly, someone threw a piss cup at him. A guy jumped from top of his van, like Randy Orton style, jumped on top of his head. Like, and
he got chased by a dog too. Like
what?
He got chased by a pit bull. Yeah,
dude.
He was running. Security was running right at like behind. It was so funny.
Dude, pit bulls are scary, man. What do you think about? Do you like dogs? Are you a dog person?
Oh yeah, I love dogs. Yeah.
What kind of? Do you have any dogs?
I don't. But my girlfriend does.
Oh yeah, what kind of dog?
They have I don't know, like this. They just got a new puppy. What is it called? What is it?
It's like a golden doodle and doodle mix.
Yeah,
golden doodle.
Yeah.
Mixed terrier too.
Oh, those are like the labs, right? They're like very curly.
Yeah.
Oh, those are cute. Those are sweet dogs.
Yeah, they have another one. That one is adorable. I don't know what kind that is.
That one's the mixed terrier.
The mixed terrier. Yeah.
Mixed terrier.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you plan on getting a dog?
Soon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Because I think dogs are very therapeutic, and
100%.
like I think everybody needs it. Because like, how can you? I just feel like every time I see a dog, and I just spend time with them for like at least it could be like a minute or two, it just makes my day.
Yeah, they bring happiness to everyone's life.
It just puts a smile on my face, and just I just look at the dog looks at me. Keep going, man.
Yeah.
It's just like that's the type of,
Yeah.
like you'd never get that energy from people.
No, 100%.
But you get it from a dog, it's crazy.
Yeah. I know. I love my dog. His name's Appa. He's an English bulldog. He's the best dog in the world. I mean, my girlfriend has another one. It's named Suki. It's another English bulldog. Those two dogs are like my best friend. I love those dogs so much.
Suki, is that a Russian word?
No, Suki is from Avatar. Not the last Airbender. Suki and Appa are both characters in there, and luckily Appa actually looks like Appa from the character. He's a big fat ball of fluff, and that's what he is. He's just an English bulldog with the most energy. He really is my soul dog, man. A lot of people say you get one soul dog in your life, and I think that's him. I attach to him so much. Like, even now, not being with him, it really does suck. But moving forward, how do you go on your day-to-day? How do you stay so consistent with content? Because that's the biggest downfall in a lot of people's careers.
Yes. Well, I try to record at least 2 times or 3 times if I really want to squeeze it in. I don't like the fact that I don't like the feeling of running out of content, which I'm pretty sure a lot of creators have had that, feeling of like, oh, I'm running out of content. I need to shoot. I'm always shooting.
100%.
Like, I could be in Fresno. I could be in Dubai, anywhere. I'm always like, I can, even if I don't have my cameraman, I have somebody, I ask somebody to record me. Like, I need to make content everywhere I go, because consistency is key. It's like, no matter what you do, you always need to post. The moment that you stop posting, is the moment that everything goes downhill.
Really?
Like I'm just saying this based on experience because that happened to me before because my last relationship, it was like 6 months, 7 months, and super toxic. Don't want to really get into it, but 5 months I quit.
Yeah.
5 months I didn't do any content. This is like 3 years ago. So 5 months I stopped and it was super bad. And it was like a hassle. It was like very hard to get back on the algorithm. It was very hard to just like, because that's where I started going hard.
Yeah, that was your bread and butter and then you stopped.
Exactly.
Well, it looks like you found your bread and butter now.
Yeah.
I mean, she's helped you tremendously. Your growth and all your videos. I was just looking at your views the other day and I was like, holy shit,
She
man.
records half of it, actually.
Yeah?
She records half of it. She's amazing. Yeah, she helps me a lot. And honestly, I'm blessed to have her in my life.
Yeah, 100%.
real,
I see it. You guys are definitely a good, solid power couple, I would say. What's your favorite places to travel? Because I know you mentioned Dubai and you've been to Armenia. I want to go to Armenia one day. It looks like the most beautiful places on earth. I have a lot of Armenia friends. I'm so excited. I plan on going within the next 2 years. I want to make it happen. But what are your favorite spots?
My favorite spots, I would say, I was just in Canada right now. I just came back from Toronto.
It's so funny.
Yeah,
I love the video.
Yeah, Canada was cool. We were just messing with people, stopping people. Hey, for oil change, do you put what's it called? What is that syrup? The
maple syrup.
I was like, do you put maple syrup instead of oil change? And people were cracking up and stuff. Yeah. It was just Canada was good experience. Definitely, I would go back, but obviously different part of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like Quebec or I don't know. Like,
is there an Armenian culture out there in Canada?
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw your video and I was like, he's in Canada doing this?
Canada was insane, dude.
Really?
Canada was the craziest experience. Like I was not expecting for just like the amount of support and love, because there was this big festival happening. It was ACC Summerfest. Shout out to ACC Summerfest. I went over there. Nobody knew. We just took a trip there, and then I attended, and I made some content with everybody, and just it was insane. The love out there was crazy.
Oh shit!
The energy for sure, it was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Armenian. The Armenian community over there is pretty big too.
What are some other spots in the U.S. you travel to? Have you been all over the U.S. or you're kind of?
To be honest, I haven't been to any other states. I've been to Vegas and
awesome.
Fresno,
Vegas.
to the ghetto, ratatata.
Yeah.
That's it.
You like to gamble?
Gamble?
Yeah.
I not really. I do it. I do it once in a while. Why not? But not really big fan.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan, but I would say when I get into it, I get into it. Me and my friends go deep. We go to fucking war over it. Morongo Casino, this isn't over. I mean, even Vegas, we just go back to back. It's I wouldn't say it's the best thing to get into. Stay out of it if you could, but it's so drilling. It's just.
I had a crazy experience about the whole gambling thing. This is like 3 years ago. I would say 3.5. So we were like a bunch of YouTubers. And it was me, my buddy that I used to do like the Mino.
Yeah.
I used to do a YouTube with. And it was like a bunch of other people. It was 10 of us. So we went to Bellagio, Vegas, and we're in the penthouse. So I was like, okay, first time, I'm just going to go to the casino downstairs, see what's going on.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's 8 a.m.
Oh, shit.
I look at my phone. I'm like, what's going on? Like, am I tripping? Like 8 a.m. And I'm energetic. Like this is something's not right. Next thing you know, I found out that there's something going on in the casino. They spray something.
Yeah, the oxygen. They have pure oxygen.
Exactly. Yeah. And every 5 seconds, not 5 seconds, but every 2 minutes, they're offering you coffee.
Yeah. Or
like alcohol. So like you're just up. But obviously, I lost like what, 200-300 that night. And I was like, okay, never again.
Well, psychologically, it's a warfare. That's why they have no dips or corners in casinos. It's always a straight path, even with the carpets, to the lighting, to the sounds, to the alarms. It makes it an appealing place. And that's why if you go to every casino, all the windows are tinted to the back doors, to the side doors, to the patios, even to the elevator, some looking out. It's always tinted just to keep you stimulated at all times.
Exactly, yeah.
But what are some of your hobbies? Like, what are some things you do outside of content? Because I know you film every single day, but what are some of your personal favorite things to do every day?
Favorite thing to do, I love traveling. I love meeting new people. and just exploring the city, trying new food, trying new coffee shops.
Yeah.
So
who are some of your favorite creators to collab with?
That I have collab with?
Yeah.
Jack Jr.
Yeah, he's funny.
I did it with who else? I have a lot of people. Let me wait. My phone is right there. Okay. Arazada. He's the chef guy.
Oh, okay.
We've done some funny stuff together, and I don't know. Like on top of my head, there's a lot. There's a lot I've done.
How do you feel about some people in the social media game? Because I know there's a lot of people. You ever just ran into someone you just don't click with, or a community of people that you're like, okay, I'm maybe not meant for these people, like TikTokers or anything?
To be honest, that always happens. I've run into like every time, like every day that happens to me, like where there's a creator, like because I go to a lot of what's it called, influencer events, like day parties and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's not really a party. It's more like content creating day.
Networking.
It's like networking day. You make content, you meet other creators, and then that's where you just decide to, either you make a group or whatever. But there's times where I didn't click with a lot of people, and they didn't click with me. But that was just like that day.
Yeah.
But then other times where I met, we just clicked. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So the first time we didn't click, but the second time we did. It always happens. And then there's times where like I didn't click at all. Where, it's just not meant to be, like you just do your part, but then it's just like sometimes people are like, some creators could be more, how do I say it? Like they want to keep it low key, keep it to themselves.
Yeah, private.
Yeah. They don't want any type of collaborations, which I respect that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there's a lot of creators that I know that, I'm friends with them, but they don't do any collabs. There's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's all depends on brand and what you want to do, especially about exposure.
Yeah, the image and everything. So like what image they want to put out there,
How about for you? What's your end goal with social media? I mean, what are your dreams and aspirations for this year, moving forward, and then the biggest picture of everything?
Well, this year, I want to take it to the next level by just making different type of content. And I wanted to start my own podcast, but I wanted to grow my following a little bit more. And then that's where I want to start. So I think right now I'm still like focusing on content. I want to grow everything. But obviously I love doing the whole stage, the comedy thing where I just pop on stage.
It's awesome.
Say stupid shit, get off, just, I don't know, make people laugh.
Keeps it personal. It's you. It's really you, and you're authentic, and you're funny, dude. You're funny as fuck. I sit there and I crack up at your videos, man. You really do put a smile on my face and so many others.
Appreciate that, yeah.
But what about the next 5 years? How do you plan on scaling it?
Well, next 5 years, I've already thought about it. Next 5 years, for sure, buying a house.
100%.
Like less than 5 years. Like that's happening, Next 2 years, 3 years, probably engaged, married, and then do family content, and then we're gonna start doing like couples content.
Yeah. So, that's gonna be sick. Yeah, there's a big community for that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the couples content?
I think it's dope.
Yeah.
Because you get to, but obviously, it's like what happens. Like I don't know. Like I feel like as a couple, whatever content you make, it's like you just after you're done, you just leave it the way it is. And then you just move on to your personal life,
Yeah, you definitely have to balance
it. You have to balance it. There's a lot of couples like that actually started doing social media and, ended up like some things happen and then ended up ruining the relationship and stuff like that. But I definitely keep it on check. I try to make sure it's like, okay, everything is on point, everything's organized, everything's calculated. We're not doing something that is like going to affect, any of us.
What's your balance with social media?
Balance?
Yeah, because I know you create content every single day, but do you have your getaways? Like, how do you balance it? Because I know with you, if I were to wake up every day and see all these fucking comments, obviously they're all positive, but one negative, it's like, how do you balance your personal life and your relationship life and your family life from social media, especially going out and having people recognize you?
Well, content days, I just shoot my content, not in my city, because I can't. It's like there's so many people that approach. So it's to a point where I can't be in Burbank, Pasadena, Glendale, or Hollywood, North Hollywood.
Oh, shit.
So I just be outside. Even outside, there is a couple people that that seen it or whatever, but when it comes to family time, my phone is basically, obviously, yeah, I'll be responding to emails, I'll be responding to important stuff, but I'm still spending time with family. Going out, I'm just a regular person, like outside of social media. And obviously with relationship, same thing, just trying to not mix it with content.
Are you managing yourself? Are you your own manager, like with emails, deals, and stuff, or do you have another guy who does that?
No, I have a PR manager that does all that too.
How'd you get into that? Is it like a media company or a personal friend?
No, it's not it's just like somebody that I know, and they already manage like a bunch of talent.
Oh, sweet.
And they help me with a lot of stuff. And when it comes to like brand deals, or it comes to collabs, it's always like they communicate and let me know about it.
How do you like the brand deals?
It's pretty cool.
The senses of social media are pretty cool, huh?
It's pretty cool. Like like right now I just got hit up by Amelia Tequila. Shout out to Amelia Tequila. They're gonna send me, like, they just hit me up. They're gonna send me like a tequila.
Yeah.
Their brand. Pretty
sweet.
It's pretty good. That's pretty fire.
Yeah. What's your favorite parts about social media aside from the positivity and all the force that you put back into the world? What are some personal takeaways besides that?
Personal takeaways. The positive side of it?
Yeah. Besides obviously building a fan base where you just have people absolutely adore and love you. What's the opposite of that?
The opposite of that is like, sometimes, I don't know, the opposite of that would probably be like, sometimes you'll get like, negative shit in like in person and stuff. And then, I had a situation where, people pass by saying stuff, but then that's it,
Never turn physical?
I mean, yeah.
Allegedly?
Allegedly turned during like the pranks,
yeah.
It almost did.
I've always wondered that.
It almost did, but I never put that part because, with the whole the social media, the TikTok, what's it called? The restrictions and it's like, they're very strict. So you can't really post too much of the crazy parts. So I just like, it happens.
How do you feel on transitioning your media? Because I know with doing the same lifestyle content, do you ever fear of like drying up or maybe not having more ideas or just feeling too repetitive?
I've had that before, actually. Where I think that sometimes I'm running out of ideas. Sometimes I ask myself, okay, is it being too repetitive? And then that's where I like start switching up. I start doing like different style. Yeah. Like right now, I'm doing more walking up to people, just doing that, just kind of like going with the flow, just saying whatever. Yeah. Just, tripping people out, So funny. Like, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I got back into it again. I was doing interviews. I stopped interviews. I'm doing that. Now maybe after that, I'm going to stop that. I'm going to do some food reviews. I don't know. Like,
that would be good.
I've thought of it. I think it's going to be pretty dope, pretty funny. Because I could do something funny with the food,
100%.
Yeah, I could just like start like just going crazy.
Well, you're very creative. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. Do you ever plan on getting into other businesses aside from social media? Maybe opening up a restaurant of your own one day? How do you feel about that?
Probably like one day, or a coffee shop.
Oh, coffee shop.
Yeah.
That would be your interest?
Yeah.
Why coffee shop? Do you have it every day?
I have coffee every day, like a lot. Like at least 3 or 4 cups.
Oh,
depends.
Shit.
I used to have more though. Like a couple years ago, I would drink like 6.
Really?
Yeah, but
so your caffeine dosage, nothing just works anymore?
It doesn't do anything unless it's like Armenian coffee back to back. Then it's gonna it's gonna start like turn into like a crackhead like downtown LA.
Yeah, you don't get the jitters.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah, because I always wondered that with drinking so much coffee, I feel like I would just be paranoid and jittery.
Yeah, but when I'm doing content, I don't drink coffee. I drink coffee after that.
Oh, okay.
Because it makes me like anxious and just like stressed out too much. Like the whole approach and just like, oh my God, like what's gonna happen? What if this happens or that? No, like I stopped doing it.
Where does the confidence come from in going up to people? Because I don't think I tried it, and I don't think I could ever do it the way you do it. I mean, you're so confident, and the way you play character, it's so funny. I mean, one of my favorite videos you've done, you were at Century City, and you went up to a guy who's not Armenian. You went, Duhayas?
Yeah.
And it's like, you started fucking with him.
That video got a lot of hate, actually.
Really?
The comment section, insane.
Really? Why?
Insane. Because, how do I say it? He was kind of feeling... Okay, the poor guy was feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In a way. I wouldn't say uncomfortable, but he was confused, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, I never touched him, you know?
No, you weren't nowhere near it.
Exactly.
You had his own space.
People are snowflakes.
Yeah.
You know, everybody watching, oh my God, like you're making us look type of way,
Yeah.
this. Like, you know, it's embarrassing. Like, come on now. Like, you know, I've done, that's not even bad. I've done, like,
no, 100%.
like I have worse stuff. Like,
yeah, you're like, you should see what happens off camera.
yeah, like I have like worse stuff that happen,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and people don't know throughout the day,
Yeah.
off camera, on camera, like just the parts that they don't even know. They just see that little clip
Yeah.
and that's it.
What happens after that? Like in that situation, like was he just walking away and still confused, or is there like a pause moment? Do you ever have those where you have to be like, okay, listen, sorry, do social media,
Yeah.
don't get freaked out and call the cops? You ever have to break yourself down and express?
Well, yeah, he was with his family, and then, well, his family was like
But yeah,
at a different store, and then, well, he was like, you know, on his phone, he was just walking, and he looked Armenian to me, you know, and then I walked up to the family, I'm like, hey man, you know, it's all love, you know, much love, thank you, you know, whatever. But it was all jokes, and he was like, oh yeah, but don't do it, please. You know,
yeah.
he was like kind of like tripping out, but then I think it was a sister or the wife, I'm not sure, looked at me, oh, but he's not Armenian, and I was like, oh yeah, that's fine, but he's still invited to the Armenian barbecue, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, like I just made it more, because like, you know, I was the one that made the approach,
Yeah.
and he felt the type of way, so I kind of had to hit him with that,
With the piece, of course.
with the
you have to-
piece,
yeah,
you know,
of course
because you
have to-
always want to, at the end, you don't want to do it in a way where it's like,
negative.
exactly.
How do you feel about the, like you said, the snowflakes on the internet? Do you feel on your personal account and your pages you get the, because there's two sides, and I'm on my fan base and the people I follow are definitely on the side of bullying and just fucking with people rather than the snowflake culture. I don't really pay attention or put my mind to it. How do you feel about that culture?
The snowflake, to be honest, it's just weird because like, okay, there's like people like, okay, like when I check their following, they'll comment.
Mhm.
The same person that commented
Yeah.
is actually following me. That says follow back, right?
Oh.
But yeah, that's the part where I'm like, I clown at them, but then I reply with them, but you still follow me, you know, what's
Yeah,
happening,
yeah.
you know?
So it's kind of back to what you said about the hate, where it's like if you're getting hate, you're doing something right.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you heard about the sketch situation? Because if there's one thing, you got a fucking shit ton of hate.
I know.
What do you feel about that?
I think that's the past,
Mhm.
and I think, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know him like that.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's real. But,
Well, it's definitely real. He admitted to it.
but whatever it was, I mean, he didn't have to. But obviously, look, everybody has stories. People have worse than that. Like that's nothing crazy.
yeah.
So I think what happened in the past with him does not define who he is right now.
100%.
Because he seems like a very sweet, very very friendly. I know people that actually, he was here not too long ago at a party, and
Mhm.
people have talked to him, and then they told me about it. Just a very genuine person from what I heard.
Yeah.
So that just, you know, I just think that people like to right away when they hear something about you, they just like to just shit on
Jump
you.
on it, yeah.
They just like to just jump on the wave. They're like sheeps. One person says something, the other person continues the rest, and then they just keep saying the same thing back and forth. So that just becomes an issue. But yeah, I think everybody, I mean, has done something in the past.
Yeah, 100%.
But that does not make you a bad person.
Yeah, it was hard because I met him at UFC International Fight Week at 303. This is late July.
I saw the video actually.
Yeah, so I got to meet him in the hotel lobby, and I'm not even kidding. The sweetest fucking guy, like how you said you overheard.
Yeah.
He's the same in person. I mean, I took a video of the whole interaction of me meeting him, and from the second we like locked eyes, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
to the whole interaction. I mean, the sweetest fucking kid ever. I mean, even with what happens, I don't really necessarily care for somebody's past, regardless of what you've done, as long as it's not something so extreme to the point where it could be harmful, where it's promoting something very negative, like let's say what happened in World War II,
Yeah.
or making jokes about religion or personal beliefs. But it's like, who cares? I mean, regardless, let's say he's a straight kid now. He says he's straight, but I fucking love the kid. I don't care whether he's gay, straight, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter to me. I love Sketch. He is the coolest guy, and I'll always ride or die for that kid because the most genuine personality I've ever met. I met a ton of people through social media and even running into people in person, but there's nobody with his type of magnitude in his fan base, because I'm not even kidding. There's probably like 20, 30 people starting to get lined up just to get photos of them. He's like, yeah, let's do it. One by one by one. The manager gets a little irritated because, you know, you're trying to take him places, but it's like, he understands that he's got to be places, but he's just so genuine. How could you not fucking love the kid?
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is like, that's why I would never want to have a manager like just, you know, trying to control me and just tell me, oh, we got to go or all that stuff. But I get it. You know, when you get to that level, I understand.
Yeah, you got to get the places.
Yeah, you got to get the places. You got to get to meetings. You got to get to podcasts. You got to do all that.
Which I could find so hard because it's like all you would want to do is just stop and say, hey, guys, like, of course I take the photos, but I wonder how that feels for him to be like, sorry, guys, I can't do it. I got to go. Yeah, which is not his fault, because at the end of the day, he is doing his job to push out more content for everybody else.
Exactly, yeah. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as in like every time that happens, I mean, yeah, you know, it could be sometimes like a lot of people approaching, but I always just pause and I think back to myself and I'm like, okay, you know what? They're the reason why I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, how do I say it? Like Sketch, all the people that are like there to take photos, they made him.
100%.
You know what I mean? And all those people like in my city, you know, they are the reason why I'm like where I'm at today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that just, you know, I would always, you know, when even if I'm bigger than, you know, if I get bigger than this, when I hit 1 million, 2 million, it doesn't matter.
You'll get more.
Yeah, I'm just gonna always stop and show love because
stay to your roots.
Exactly. Yeah, because nothing will ever change me, and that's just something that I always told myself. I would never want to be distracted with the whole fame and with the whole money, with the whole whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the weird thing is a lot of people, I would necessarily say, want the Hollywood fame, but they crave it. And it's a weird thing to really, really want to pursue and actively, because there's people who come from all around the world to come to Los Angeles just to make it big. What do you feel about a lot of people trying to get famous rather than doing something that can make you famous? Because we see that a lot now with social media.
A lot of people try to take it the easy way, you know, when it comes to like, you know, a lot of creators, you know, but they like to do the easy way. But that fame, that quick 30-second fame, it's temporarily. That fame is gonna die down within the next couple months. But when you try to do something that people will always remember you for who you are and what you did, that's gonna go a long way.
100%.
You know, you never want to do it like, you know, a lot of people in, you know, LA, I guess they just jump on the wave and just do what everybody else is doing. Nobody wants to be original. That's the problem. So like, I always tell this like to everybody, like whoever wants to make content, be original, you know, come up with your own stuff that nobody ever did. And actually people will respect you more for that. And it's like, and it's actually better that way.
Yeah, it's more organic.
Exactly.
And it's more fulfilling personally.
Because why do you want to do something that somebody else already did and executed, and you want to do the same thing? Because they already done it.
Yeah.
Exactly. They already done it.
We've seen that a lot with social media.
There's no point in that. So
yeah. Do you know who Danny Duncan is?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know the Balin Levine, how he's kind of like a spin-off version, but yet he's so natural to himself where it's like it divides that, but yet it's the same format comment. Because when I first saw Balin, the first thing I thought was he's trying to be Danny Duncan. And there's so many other kids who've taken that route and that type of camera prank footage and just being themselves and being happy. But how do you feel about him getting hate and growing his channel, like on his growth?
Balin?
Yeah. Like, do you think he deserved the hate, or do you think it's just like he's genuinely trying to be himself?
I think he's just doing what he, like he's just being original. Like there's nothing, he's not copying anybody. Like it might like, I see where people are coming from, it kind of might look like that.
Yeah, same
But
style. Yeah.
I think the way he, because he's a little different. Like, Danny Duncan does a little bit other stuff. Like he does the whole crazy, car,
Yeah,
explosion, whatever,
explosion.
whatever. Yeah. But Balin is more like just natural with it. He's not even, trying to go crazy.
Yeah, he's a goober.
Like
he has fun, hangs out
he
with the
has
same
fun.
friends.
Exactly.
He's loyal to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I really grew onto his channel when I was in high school. I mean, I loved his personality. I loved the way he treated everybody, even the people that were mad at him. He'd be like, "But I love you. Okay, give me a kiss," and just stuff like that. But what do you want out of social media? What's your end goal? Like, what do you want the most?
My end goal, social media. Obviously, I want to take it to the next level. Will be comedy. Stand up.
Yeah.
I'm working my way towards it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think I'm ready yet to the point where like, I'm still preparing myself and following wise and everything. But importantly about social media, where I want to take it is to just inspire, just keep inspiring and motivating the youth.
Yeah.
That's all. Like the money and everything comes after. That's not the main thing I'm focused about. For me, it's like working with great people, having a great team, and just inspiring the youth. Like whoever wants to, because I know a lot of people that want to do social media, but they think too much about what people are going to think. So I'm here to let others know with my content that if I'm doing it, you could do it too. There's no reason for you to feel that way, or there's no reason for you to feel like, okay, I can't do it.
Yeah.
That's just what I want to do with it.
Well, that's the biggest thing with social media. And
Yeah.
that's like how I said I have a soft heart for people who win. I mean, it's so awesome to see people who really come from nothing and hardships and true difficult experiences in lives with constant frustration of not being able to escape, to finally growing a platform and getting a fan base for people who genuinely love that person, and then getting the escape, getting the money. But it's not the money that goes to blow and they buy Ferraris and Lambo. No, they buy their parents a house. And then they send that money back by giving out giveaways and all this stuff. And that's the kind of things that make social media so much worth it, because it's wholesome. And that's what I really do like about your content. It's also wholesome because you're very organic and you're yourself and you just love people, and you could see it even through meeting you. You really are a person who just loves being around people and making people smile.
Appreciate that, yeah. And importantly, forgot to mention, I want to give back as much as I can.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just have this platform just to grow, and I want to do something unique with it. Obviously, I've been doing the giveaways. I don't know if you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a couple giveaways with a couple other companies, and now my next one is going to be feeding the homeless.
That's awesome.
I'm going to come together with Bangin' Buns, and yeah, it's in the process.
It's in the works.
Yeah, it's in the works right now. But we just want to figure out the right time and right day so we can execute it. We're gonna give the sandwiches, to the homeless, and just help them out.
That's so awesome, man.
Just give back in whatever way I can. You know?
I know. That's why I really like Steve Will Do It. I really love his content
Yeah.
because, dude, the guy gives back everything, whether it's money, cars, and I love when he's helping the everyday people, the 9-to-5s. And that's where it's really inspiring. But we're short on time. I wanted you to go ahead and promote yourself on all platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Go ahead.
All right. First of all, thank you for having me.
Of course,
and
of course.
Second of all, make sure to follow LIL_EddieBoy on all platforms. And that's it.
All right. Well, I hope to have you back soon, and we'll do some content or something in the near future. But if you want, feel free to stop by tomorrow. I'd love to have you at the Lights Out Extreme Fighting event. I think it's awesome, especially since you have a little taste of MMA. I think being close to the cage and seeing the sport hands-on, it would be an awesome experience for you, brother.
I would love to, but I'm going to be in Fresno tomorrow.
It's okay. It's all good.
When I come back, definitely, I would love to see one of the fights.
Let's do it, man. We'll plan it.
Like
We'll set it up, all right?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, brother.